Start that recording. Okay, so I want to welcome everybody to the November 10th, 2021 meeting of the release team. And just we're going to go through today's agenda, and we'll start with the open discussion. As we know, we're getting now really to the kind of meat of the release. This is when things really start to get busy for a lot of the teams now. I know early on it's always like enhancements and a few other things that get a lot of the action, but now this is where it all kind of comes together. So just a reminder that Code Freed is coming up really shortly. And so just expect things to really start to pick up. And as a way to kind of optimize things, Ray has reached out to all the release shadows, myself and everybody else who are shadowing this cycle. A few of us all have different backgrounds across different parts of the release team. The great thing is we have a really strong team this time around, and we're just getting great feedback that release feeds feel really supported by the teams, and that's awesome to hear. But as things get a little bit more hectic, things come up, we'll start seeing exceptions, we'll see all these other things. So we'll be really trying to step in and just trying to help facilitate and be able to make things as smooth as possible. I don't have any other open discussion items, so we'll jump over to updates, and we'll start with enhancements. And I don't know if we have Xander or someone from the team available.
Hi, this is Laura. I'm a enhancements shadow. I'm speaking for the team today because Xander has a conflict. Basically, as it says in the notes here, and for everybody, code freeze is the next big exciting thing for enhancements. Right now, we have our current status tracked as green. The same way as before for enhancements freeze, we started reaching out to enhancement owners to remind them of the upcoming code freeze on GitHub. And then we have our tracking sheet, which is also where we're tracking whether any keps are not code freeze ready if they're at risk. And we expect that to keep pinging about that and updating that tracking sheet over this week. So these metric numbers might change a bit as time goes on. But yeah, so that's the update from us.
Cool. Thanks, Laura. So yeah, I noticed we're different in that period where what's really going to start to be delivered is there, because we're tracking like 39 now and about 17 at risk. So hopefully we'll maybe see that number come back up. Thanks for that. So now we'll move over to CI signal. And I don't know if Arsh, you have someone designated, or will it be you today to give the update?
I'll give the update. So for master blocking, we have one more job passing since the last report and one less flaky job. And out of all the flaky tests, one was consistent. So we have created an issue for that a couple of days ago. And I have again also today pinged in the SIG channel. So we should expect a response before the cut next week. And for master informing, we have 9 flaky and 4 failing jobs. For one of the failing jobs, a PR has been made to fix it. And 2 of them are KubeADM related, and they just like a couple of hours ago they appeared. So, but we got a prompt response from KubeADM maintainers saying that they're on it. So nothing to worry about. And the final one we have been we were observing since yesterday, and since it has been failing consistently today, we'll create an issue for that. And one other report is that the CI signal report tool, which is used to generate the weekly reports, has now been migrated into the K release repository, and a lot of folks were involved there, and thanks to everyone who helped with that. And further developments on the tool would be we'll try to keep most of the discussions in the release engineering meetings which happen, since this is tool related. So if folks are interested in contributing, it's highly encouraged. You can show up there and discuss.
Yeah, no, it was great to see quite a few people in SIG release meeting yesterday. Maybe for the broader team, can you just briefly explain what this means for everybody else? Because sometimes I think other teams don't have context.
So yeah, the tool is used to generate the weekly reports you see in the release CI signal channel. And earlier the tool was under the private repository of a contributor, and now it has been merged in the K release repository. And what this would mean for us is now it is governed by the Kubernetes code of conduct, and it will go through all the processes which other areas and repositories go in the project. And this means that we'll now have, first of all, like reviews from K-release maintainers, and we can iterate and improve the tool better. And we have like plans in progress for linking it to automating Slack updates and stuff, and we'll now be able to do that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. That's really a great work. I think Jeremy just linked in an example for others to take a look at as well. I always found like these are always great when you're on the release team to sometimes you're in your space, but always taking a look at what's happening around is really helpful when you see the bigger picture. So great work. I really excited to see all this work that's happening in the CI Signal team. So we'll move over to bug triage. And I know we have Christoph is down for the update, or unless someone else is assigned from the team.
Exactly. No, this is Christoph for the update. Hello and welcome. So the too long didn't read for the bug triage team is that our current status is green. We have no blocking issues, no blocking PRs. Out of 17 open issues assigned to 123, we have still 6 remaining that are currently considered as important. We have currently 2 important PRs open, nothing critical at this moment. And therefore, yeah, we consider this as we are kind of on track. We're looking for the for the code freeze, where we assume that a couple of issues will be either moving to version 1.24 or hopefully also are about to be resolved.
Okay. I forgot to ask this to the previous 2, but for bug triage, does anybody have any questions or comments for them? All right. Well, appreciate that update, Christoph. Thanks for that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. We're moving over to docs. We have Jesse listed for the update.
Hello. Yeah, so we're remaining yellow, but we're cautiously optimistic. We had a bunch of PRs come in, and not just placeholders. We have like 6 ready to go, almost docs things. It's very exciting, but we still have like 30 missing. So we're still yellow. Hopefully with some of the communications going out and some of the pinging that we're doing and others are doing, we'll see more come in. We are like, I don't know, what is it, 8 days from the deadline? Yeah, okay. So, and again, I just want to be very clear, the communication is the team is yellow. We're feeling a little like, I wouldn't say worried, but we are concerned about the tight turnaround. So getting placeholder PRs in is one thing. We don't have a whole lot of time until the docs have to be done and reviewed. So you might hear some hollering. We'll make it happen though. I'm feeling good.
All right.
But yellow.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I like the cautious optimism. That's always good. And as we mentioned, it's probably going to be a little hectic. Great thing is you do have a lot of people who've worked along with docs. Is there anything that broader teams can do to signal boost or to help? Or do you feel like going into the next 8 days, the team feels like they've got a plan?
What's been going on is good. So yeah, and the team's awesome too. All the shadows are super engaged. So we're ready for it. We just want to be really transparent.
All right. I love it. Any questions or comments from anybody for the docs team?
Yeah, just one. We're gonna send out another email to the community next week, and I'll talk about this a little bit. And we will include a bold headline. Get your docs placeholder PR.
Maybe
deadline.
some emojis or something. That'd be
Yes.
cool. All right.
Those always work. Emojis work.
Yeah. Cool.
Just curious about the deadline. Talking about 8 days deadline. I thought the doc freeze deadline is like a week after code freeze. Is my memory wrong or
this time it's well, the placeholder PR deadline is 2 days after code freeze, but you're right that I think the doc's ready to review is about 8 days after code freeze. I'll have to take a look again, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the doc's ready to review is the 23rd. Yeah, you're totally right, Cece.
Nice, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Great work, Stocks team. Thanks for the update. We'll move over to the release notes. CC, we just heard from you, so I looks like we have you for the update.
Oh, sure. So I put it as yellow because one of our shadows is still working on generating a release note for Alpha 4, but we would be expecting the PR to be coming out anytime soon. So yeah.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the release notes team? All right. Appreciate your hard work there. And going over to comms, we have Kazan Fields for the update.
Hello. Our current status is green. We have several feature blogs in progress, and the shadows are working to coordinate those and make sure that they're coming along smoothly. We asked and confirmed a pushback of the release webinar to January, though we need to wait for the Q1 webinar signups to open up in December. And the team still needs to discuss the order and timeline for those feature blogs to be published, but they're in progress.
Okay. No, I love seeing the green, and I did take a look, and it looks like you have quite a few feature blogs. So excited to see how that shapes up. I know myself and Max as well have worked in that space. So if there's any additional eyes you needed, like any feedback, we're always eager to assist. So don't hesitate to reach out. Any questions for the comms team?
One, it's more just give me some context. The initial date for the release webinar was actually the day after the scheduled release, but most of the time it's usually the month after, in case we never know. So we did ask for that little delay for that webinar.
Yeah, December is always a tough month for that. Thanks, Kaslin, for that update. So we'll go over to the release branch management with Veronica Lopez.
Hello. Well, we don't have a lot of new things to report for today. There are a lot of things happening in the background. We recently got the cherry picks that I mentioned in last meeting approved. Let us know if you need any help with anything, especially since all the code freeze and all these deadlines are coming. Just keeping an eye on the issue that CI signal opened. And yeah, we're yellow, but just because we're very close to cutting our first beta for this release. And yeah, but very, very, very happy that there are none blocking jobs for now, knocking on wood. That it stays like that. But yeah, should anything happen, let us know and let us know if we can help.
Thanks, Veronica. And I like how you did a nice call out to the CI signal team. It's great to see all that, tight collaboration. That's great work on both your parts.
That team is always in my heart because I know all the hard work that they do because I used to do it in a very manual way. So seeing all the work that they do and all the tooling and all the processes, it's like very, very cool.
Yeah. Any questions for the release branch management team? Okay, we'll move over to our emeritus lead, Jeremy.
Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. We're getting towards the end of the release. Like obviously code freeze is coming up and all of the other deadlines that kind of stack after that. So it gets to be a little stressful. You need any help, reach out. The release leads and SIG release leads are here to help you be successful. If you need anything, let us know. As we get towards the end of the release, like one of the fun things, maybe not fun things, depending on your perspective, is giving the update in one of these meetings for your sub team. If you haven't done that yet as a shadow, it's a great opportunity to do that in the upcoming weeks, just to get comfortable with it. If you step up to be a lead, you'll obviously have to do that. So it's like just good practice and a good way to get some time on camera. With that in mind, also start thinking about the next release. If you're currently a shadow and you're interested in leading your sub team, good to start having conversations with them to say, hey, I'm interested in this. If you're not, but you're interested in another team, do that as well. People can come back to shadow same teams as well. So just kind of think about what you want to do. Same thing for the release leads. If you're interested, think about what you think succession looks like for the next release, just so that we can ensure that we have a smooth transition to 124 at the start of the year. And just, I guess, any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. I'm on Slack all the time. The SIG release leads are also available. If you don't feel comfortable coming to me, Stephen or Adolfo or Carlos or Sasha, everybody is willing to help out and listen. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns, helpful comments or whatever. Happy to listen to them all. But yeah, like as we get up to those milestones, don't stress too much. We're all here together to be successful. Reach out if you have any problems, and have a great Wednesday.
Thanks for that update, Jeremy, and appreciate how you are continually trying to make this a safe space for everybody to feel comfortable, especially as we get into this little bit stressful time. Hey, just one follow-up from Monday. I brought this up is any comments about the mid-cycle retrospective that you wanted to bring up or anything post, and as well as like getting ready for our final retrospective for this release cycle. Any comments or feedback?
Yeah, I think that the mid-cycle thing was cool. It was the first time we've done it, and I think it was really cool for two reasons. One, like one of the problems that I think we have with the retros is they always happen at the end, and people are kind of burned out or tired from the release, and they may not come back. They may come back depending on what they want to do. So we come up with all these action items of things that like didn't go so well that we want to do differently next time. And sometimes those things fall out and get forgotten. And I think that having the retro in the middle was a good opportunity to kind of force some of those things back to the surface. I think we had some good discussions. Hopefully it sets the tone for people. So I don't know if the meeting was posted yet. We have been having tons of problems with the recordings for the meetings going to YouTube. Like you would think in the year 2021, that would be a pretty solved thing. But we have this really great integration with this tool called Splain, and it breaks all the time. And getting it reinstalled is like a huge hassle. But Taylor, anybody that's familiar with Taylor, the 119 release lead, one of the great release associates, he has just gotten it working again. So hopefully, starting with this meeting, it'll be posted up, and we're burning through the backlog of all the old meetings to get them up. So if you didn't get a chance to join the retro, definitely when it's posted, go back and take a look at it. I think it'll give you a good idea for what we should talk about at the post-release retro. If you have any topics that came to mind after that or things you weren't really comfortable saying, feel free to add them to the agenda now or ping me and I can anonymously add them to the agenda and we'll talk about them.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Really appreciate that. And I believe in Taylor. I worked on that release team and I know he does quality work. So I'm looking forward to that recording because I think it'll be good for everybody to kind of get a feel for things. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll move over to our release lead, Ray.
Hello. So next week starts our weekly Monday to Friday burn down meetings. So it's a lot of meetings, I know, so you don't have to go to all of them, but since at least try to have a shadow representative on the call if you can. So I did send out the Tuesday and Thursday invites. They're a little tricky this time, so hopefully people got them. They did show up on my calendar, but it took me a while to get the Thursday invites out for some reason. Don't know why. So both of those are 9 a.m. Pacific, according to the doodle. So check appropriately on your with your time zone. After that, also with those meetings as well, it's really, it's been kind of quiet this release cycle so far, but we have those weekly meetings, to Monday to Friday meetings, to really troubleshoot some issues, and they're going to come up. Issues just come up for every single release. And those are the times to bring them up so we could get them triaged and get some help outs as well. With that, we do have code freeze next week on Tuesday. So we do send another email the day before code freeze just to warn about code freeze. We did that last week. So hopefully this will really, I'm thinking about sending it this week just because I feel like the day before is a little bit cutting it close. So think about sending it again on Thursday. Last week we sent an email on Friday. So with that, we have code freeze next week. Also the first and only beta to be cut the day after code freeze on Wednesday. Then the docs placeholder PR deadline which is on Thursday. Then the week after that, we have a bunch of deadlines on November 23rd, because that is also the week of US Thanksgiving. So it's going to be quite a bit. We have test freeze, docs ready for review. Then the first RC is cuts and some branch management things like the release branch is created, jobs are created for the release branch as well. And then we start the final draft of release notes and also start on the blog as well, or have the blog release blog kind of almost ready to review at that point. We do know it is US Thanksgiving holiday week, so we'll be kind of a little bit kinder on around these deadlines and milestones. So, all right, so that's about it in terms of milestones, upcoming milestones and deadlines. Feel free to reach out to myself or to any of the lead shadows. Like Joseph mentioned, the lead shadows, they've all had lots of experience in the past with being on the release team. All have been role leads in some different roles as well. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions. All right, that's it for me.
Thanks, Ray. Any questions for our release lead? All right. I guess we have six scalability. I don't know if we have anybody here.
No, they fill it in. Usually a lot of the scalability folks are in the European time zone, but they usually, I ping them to updates and they usually update it yesterday.
Right. So we'll take the green is good.
Yep.
And with that, we will wrap up this meeting and give you the rest of your time back. Thanks everybody for attending, and I will stop the recording. And if anybody else wants to continue on the conversation or have any questions that they don't want on the recording, we can take it from there. So have a great Wednesday and rest of your week.
You too, Joseph.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye.